Caroline here from Aussie Cards and Crafts, and I think this is about my 4th or 5th tutorial this week, or in the last 10 days or so. So that's, I think, somewhat of a record for me, but obviously it shows that I'm actually feeling a bit better after my surgery and able to sit at the desk for a lot longer than what I had been. What I would like to do today is I'd like to do a winged pop-out card. Now, this is the card that I did yesterday. This was inspired by Sam Calcott at Mixed Up Craft. Now, there's no dies needed for this at all unless you're going to use a die for your sentiments and your decoration. It's entirely up to you. But this was one that that Sam did, but she did hers 5x7, whereas after I decided to do this, I then received a delivery of papers, and they were all 6x6. So I thought, no, I'm going to change the sizes. So I didn't go up yesterday because I had to rearrange and redo all of the sizes. But this is how it works. Basically, you've got the wings at the side that you can see, but then you've got that beautiful pop-out part in the centre. So let's get started. There is a lot of cutting and sticking to do on this because all of these are done individually, obviously. A lot of that I've already done for you. The important part is how to go about doing the cuts and where you do your score lines and your cuts. So I'd just like to go through that with you. I will decorate. I'm not going to put a sentiment on this one because I haven't prepared one, but I will go through and decorate everything for you so you can see how it's done. So let's get started. Firstly, you will need a piece of card that, this is my template. Okay, so I'll leave that there. I'm hoping you can see that. That's my template, and this is what we're going to be doing. So we're going to be working with that template, and you need a piece of card that is 10 inches by 6 inches. So 10 inches along the long side and then 6 inches along the shorter side. Along the 10-inch side, you then need to score at 5 inches. Turn it the other way so that you can see. So score at 5 inches and then fold your card in half. Now, making sure that these are very, very much straight because that is going to have a little bit of a bearing. So this is my template here. So we've got our 10 by 6 inch and we have scored where the dotted line is. We have scored at 5 inches. We have now folded this in half. Okay. So what you now need to do is you need to put your card into, and I'm going to do it on this rather than that because I've already done it. I tend to use a ruler just to give me a bit of an idea. Line it up with your cut line on your score, on your cutting board. And then at the 1 inch mark, you need to come down to 2.5 inches. So if you use your ruler, try to go maybe not quite as far if you don't think you can get it exact. So go down just until you almost hit that 2.5 inch mark. Go along to your 2 inch mark and then come down, do the same thing and go along to the 1.5 inch mark. Move across to your 4 inch mark and using your score tool and your ruler again, score once again at 1.5 inches, and then at your 5 inch mark you're going to score once again down to 2.5 inches. Now don't worry too much if you haven't actually got these exact because we can extend them a little bit once we've done the next ones. So moving this is your cut piece just here. Sorry, not your cut piece. This is your folded piece just here. You can see my dotted line down there. Move that to the side of your scoreboard. And then at 2.5 inches, you need to score down to meet up with that first score line. So you score down to meet up with that first one. With your second one, you need to go from the 1 inch mark down on your side here. From that score line, you need to hover and then come down and then score down to the 2 inch line. So you're basically joining that one up and joining that one up. I find it easier then to turn it around and use one of my other measurements here, and I'm going to go from the 5. So I need this to be 2.5 inches, so this will be 2.5 inches as well. So I go down, and then once again, that's the 5. I need to go to 4.5 inches on this time, and then go down as well. So what you end up with is that. And I'll leave that just there. If you want to take a screenshot, it's probably a good idea. So your piece of paper is 10 by 6, and now these are going to be cut lines, all of these, and we're going to do that right now. So I'll pop that aside. Now this one has already been done. It has already been scored. What we now need to do is we now need to cut from, and I'll show you on this one, we now need to cut from there down to there, from there to there, there to there, and there to there. Now, I'm not going to use my scoreboard for mine. I'm actually going to use a knife and blade. My scoreboard I'm having trouble with at the moment, and because I haven't been well, I haven't been able to get out to the shops to buy a new one. But mine's about 6 or 7 years old, and I'm finding that it's actually not that good. So I'll speed up while I do these, but just remember, I'm going from there to there, to there to there, from there to there, and from there to there. Okay, so once you've finished that, you will see that you've got all of those cut out. So now what we need to do is we need to start folding them. Now, with these side ones here, these are both going to be a valley fold, and this one's going to be a mountain fold, and this one's going to be a valley. So if you do that to the pieces that you, the bottom and the top, the next cuts in, they are also going to be exactly the same. So this one's going to be a valley, and this one's going to be a mountain. Okay, so you start just moving the cards so that they are going in the right direction, and the back one will remain a valley. So basically what you need to do is just gently and take your time doing it, but eventually what you need to have is a shape like so. Okay, and there you have your pop-out card. What you also need is a piece of, 2 pieces of, move that aside now, 2 pieces of card that are 6 inches in length and 3.5 inches in width. And along that 3.5 inch, you then need to score at 1/2 inch on each of these. So you then fold and burnish that fold, because that's going to be your hinge, and make sure it's burnished well. And you do that with both of them. And then what you need to do is you now need to stick it. You stick them to this part here. So there's your folded piece. You now need to stick that along that line there. So that very first top and bottom fold, you now need to make sure that that it lines up exactly there. And of course, because it's the same size, it will come a little bit further out on mine, but I'm not concerned with that. So I'll go and stick those ahead of, go ahead and stick those down for you. There we go. Now, if like me, you've got a tiny little bit there that is not quite right, use your blade and knife just to trim that down, because you don't want to see just a little bit there sticking up. So let me just get my blade again. And you can see that's the amount that I took off. So, okay, so there we go. I'm pretty happy with that so far. Now it's a case of basically decorating it. So I'm going to go through all the sizes that you need. So firstly, for your outside, for the flap part, the wing part, if I fold that back like so, you will see that I have already done these for you. Now I'm going to pop that one just there and this one just there, and the same on the reverse. So what you're going to need is you are going to need 2 of your matte layer, which is going to be 2 3/4 by 5 3/4, and then your layer, your top layer, is then going to be 2 1/2 by 5 1/2. Okay, so you'll need 2 of those. You'll also need 2 that are 2 1/4 by 6 inch, sorry, that's not 6 inches, it shouldn't be 6 inches, no, 5 3/4 for your matte layer, and then 2 inches by 5 1/2 for your top layer. You need 2 of those. So let's go with those first, and I'm going to stick those down just here. Let me have a look. How do I want this to go? I think I'd like that one there, because that's got the reindeer on it. Okay, so here we go. You can see that I've got those pieces put on. The next pieces are all going to be for the inside. Now, what I've got is for the, there's many different ways you can actually decorate this. You can cut a piece that is going to fit in there perfectly. I chose not to do that. I chose to do it a different way, because I think that with the paper that I had, it was going to be a lot better. Now, I had 2 pieces of green. I know that's blue on there, but they all kind of mix in together. So I've used those, and I'm going to pop one there and one there. Now, the size of that is 3 1/2 inches by 3 sorry, let me double check to make sure. Sorry, that's 3 3/4 inches for the mat, and 3 1/4 inch for the top, and then it is 3 1/2 inches down there, and then 3 inches there for the layer. Okay, now what I did is I had 2 pieces of paper that were in the same pattern, and I just picked what I wanted. So I measured it to actually have my snowman there and to have this here. I've also used the same paper and some offcuts of that to do the center part here, okay, there and there, and the sizes of those, and I'm pretty sure the mat is 1 1/4 inches by 1 3/4 inches, and then the other part is 1 inch by 1 1/2 inches, and you'll need 2 of those. So we'll pop those ones just there. The next ones that we need are going to be, I've used these ones because they're in the same tones. You need 4 of these. You need 1, 2, 3, 4, and the matte layer is going to be 3/4 of an inch by 1 inch, by 1 1/4 inches, and then your layer is going to be 1/2 an inch by 1 inch. Okay, so you'll need 4 of those that will go here. And then the final pieces are going to be, you're going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 8 of these, and the matte layer is going to be 3/4 of an inch by 2¼ inches, so the pattern layer is going to be 1/2 inch by 2 inches, and you need 8, and these are going to go just here. So that's how it's going to look. I'm going to go ahead and stick those down for you, and I'll be back in a moment. So there we have it. There is our card. Now it will need a sentiment on it. I think what I will probably do is, as you take the card out, you're going to be taking it out this way. So I might have a sentiment just there, because I don't really want to take away from the actual scene that is in there. As far as a greeting is concerned, I'm going to put one on the back just here. I'm going to put probably another green layer and then a white layer over the top with a sentiment stamped on it. I don't know who it's going to yet, so I'm not stamping that at this stage, but there are different options. I absolutely love this card. I think it is beautiful. So thank you for the inspiration from Sam for giving this to us. As I say, this is totally different sizings to Sam, because I wanted it to fit into the papers that I had. So I spent quite a bit of time yesterday working on this one, and making sure that the 6x6 papers and that the folds were correct. So I'm really happy with it. I hope you are. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, because it really does help for anybody that's putting tutorials up. They are quite a lot of work, a lot of preparation, a lot of editing and things like that. So for not only me, but for anybody else that you see that has put a tutorial up that you really like, please subscribe and give a thumbs up. If you have any questions at all, please pop a note underneath. Would love to answer anything. I do get back to my comments. Or alternatively, contact me through my Facebook site, which is Aussie Cards and Crafts. I hope you've enjoyed this today. And as I say, hopefully I'll have another one up by the end of the weekend. So until then, happy crafting. Thank you.